Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions and we're back with Episode 2, Campaign 2, Part 1. I feel like I explained this, but in case you didn't see the last video, I'm going to explain it really quick one last time. We're going to do Part 1, then I'm going to watch an hour, give or take. I'm going to watch enough where there is 2 hours left to do the live stream on Friday or Saturday. I'm still not sure whether Friday or Saturday is better. Last week Friday worked out. I think this week Friday works out. But I want to establish a day that will work consistently before I say it. But right now it looks like Friday night is the best day to do it. It's the day after Critical Role actually does their Campaign 3, which I eventually will probably watch. So I don't want to do Thursday. And Saturday is hit or miss with the weekends. I don't know what goes on. So Friday after work would probably be the easiest, and I'll do it around 9 o'clock like I did last week. Right now, that's what's going to happen this week. I'm just not positive if that's going to be set in stone, but it seems like it's going to be. Either way, we're going to do Part 1 now, 30, 40 minutes with an intro and exit. And then, like I said, the middle part is going to be on Patreon only. I can't put everything up on YouTube. It's just too much content, and I am getting hit with copyright claims, and I just don't want to abuse it. So those will be on Patreon, but I'll do a Part 1, and then a Part 2 will be after whatever I do on Patreon. So we're going to have like 30, 40 minutes, whatever I do on Patreon, and then 30, 40 minutes, and then the live stream. There'll be plenty of content on YouTube. I'm basically doing it just to break it up a little bit so it's not just like repetitive every second of every episode on YouTube. Last we saw, we got the carnival. There was, I don't know if it's zombies. They were saying zombies. It was some dude that turned into some crazy Kraken bone monster, that bit a lady that turned into some crazy Kraken bone monster, and then they just started wreaking havoc, and giant armed guards came in. I don't know who we could trust, but I now have all the characters down. I said Jester's probably my favorite, only because not the hero might have been my favorite if Sam talked more. I just feel like Sam didn't talk a whole lot. Maybe it wasn't his fault. Maybe there wasn't really much for him to do or interact with. It seemed like that last part was more focused on the carnival itself, Yasha, who's Ashley Johnson, Molly Mock. I'm told it's like Hawk, but with an M. I'm just going to jump in. We're starting off from there. Yasha disappeared, but people told me that's because Ashley Johnson was still doing Blind Spot. Therefore, I guess she comes and goes as she sees fit. Before she disappeared, she went and did something. I feel that was important. Either way, I'm sure Matt Mercer is going to give a recap. I can't imagine he wouldn't. I did skip the first 8 minutes, which was ads and other things. I said I am going to watch that separately and probably put it up in like bonus videos. I will watch all that, and the things that I feel should be put under reaction, I'll put all together in like an ad thing, like a whole montage. Either way, let's jump in. You guys want to be way ahead, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, and hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. If not, here we go, guys. Episode 2, Campaign 2, Critical Role. That's how I know where to go to. I hope that does it every time.
Welcome back.
Every time it does that little nifty
Last we left
intro.
off, our slowly gathering band of adventurers had begun to have their stories intertwined in the city of Trostenwald on the southern reaches of western Wynandir on the continent of Wildmount. Here we had Nott and Caleb, who had been traveling southward, coming and meeting in the center of the tavern of the Nestled Nook Inn with Jester.
I knew we'd get a great recap. Why would we not? From
upon which they were invited to a nearby carnival that had begun preparing for their performances later that evening, in which they met Yasha and Molly. After swapping some stories, earning and losing some gold, they began to gather at the outskirts of the Outta, the lake right on the eastern edge
I have
of
kombucha
Trostenwald, for the first opening performance.
mixed with a red, white,
with a fledgling moon drop.
That's what I have. Red, white, and blue.
Smirnoff. Traveling Carnival Curiosities. Upon entering the tent, they saw a number of performances. However, during a musical performance by this young dwarven girl, whose voice was this mysterious, enchanting experience.
Some of their guess as to what happened, but I don't think I'm guessing no. I think that's too on the nose.
Transform into a terrible, sort of undead creature that began to just lash out, killing another member of the audience, who then began to become one of these same creatures. You all grabbing your
I'm pretty
weapons,
sure it was
Yasha,
just
who
the
had been
one
keeping them
audience
stashed
member.
away,
Even though
leapt
I'm
into the
doing
fray,
this like it looks
slaughtered
like
both
two.
of these terrible beasts, just in time for the Crown's Guard to rush in.
Crown's
and
Guard.
ask
I
them
was like,
what
they had
the
a
hell
name. It was like
happened.
some
After
Diesel
information
Guard
had been
sounding
gathered
dudes.
of who was immediately available and responsible for this carnival, Gustav,
Bo the
Breaker, and Molly were marked to be arrested. One of the guards was escorted outside of the tent by Yasha, who was going to show him where this young dwarven girl was currently resting. And upon being led astray to the wrong tent, she just ran into the distant hills and vanished. And that is where we left off.
So I'm guessing, I was going to say, my guess is Ashley Johnson's not here. Because why would they vanish her at the last episode if she was going to be? So we get no Ashley this episode. I wonder how long she'll be gone.
At which point, the Crown's Guard that had left not but a moment before comes rushing in, his breath huffing, sweat dripping from his brow, his eyes kind of wild. He goes, Watchmaster! The woman, the big woman, she's gone. At which point the Watchmaster turns to him and says,
Look at Tal'dorei. Some of them just get like lost in it.
Search for her. They all immediately run out, back the exit performer's flap, and he turns to the rest of you in the group. Shackle and drag those three down to the stockade. About 5 guards approach and begin to press Gustav, Bo, and Molly to the ground and begin to put chains and shackles on
And
them.
Molly only got taken because of a miserable roll. And I said this in the last one. Could a good roll have prevented this? Because that is huge. Like, if he could have went with them and avoided that, that's like huge in my mind. So some rolls are extremely crazy
As for the
important.
others, don't go far.
The innocent patrons, you mean?
You may be innocent, in which case you have nothing to worry about. However, we have an investigation to complete. So, I would ask that you stay within the city and wait until you're called in. You will be questioned, and when this investigation is complete,
Travis is like
regardless
making
of how long
moves
it
over
may
there.
take, you are not to leave Trostenwald.
If I could just contribute one word. The 40 or so people who are outside and the rest of us will vouch for this one, the colorful one. He saved many people's lives.
They're
Don't take
vouching
my
for
word
Molly.
Does everyone
That's a good move, man. It might not work.
The Crown's Guard glance at each other. He goes, well, unfortunately, that is not for me to decide.
Yeah. I mean, it would be hard for me to believe a guard could just be like, oh, really?
If you wish to come with us,
Leave him
we can
go.
bring you along with us to the stockade, and you could speak with her. Then perhaps she may grant you leniency.
There you go.
I can give you no
We got options.
guarantee.
But that wasn't a bad move. I dig that.
Why don't you just
Vouch for him. I mean, hey, it makes sense. They were all watching, even though they're
that
strangers.
Well, we could do that instead. We'll have you arrested, put you away in the stockade as we question the rest of you.
No, let's go to the stockade.
Yeah, see, they're pushing too hard now, and it's like, all right, we'll arrest you too.
jails are not my favorite terrain. Just want to point that out. Not this go around. No.
Good to know.
I'm assuming at this point they're not still slightly drunk. They weren't highly intoxicated, but they were all like buzzed or inebriated to some extent. At this point, enough time might have went by to sober them.
Leaves. Come if you wish. Otherwise, we'll be in touch.
Come
And
if you wish.
The Watchmaster gathers alongside the other 5 Crown's Guard, lifting up the shackles of the 3 that had been arrested and begin to drag them outside of the tent into the night air.
The Knight's Guard.
Okay.
Can
Sorry, I
I
just
double back into the performance area and see if I can find that little girl that they're looking for before they do?
You may if you want to. All right, you send Pumpkin just
When he
follow
says
them.
it like
You guys
that,
can
I feel
behind
like you shouldn't.
Are there?
But he could be tricking you, I guess. But sometimes he says things like,
Or is the
if
Watchmaster
you
going
want,
as well?
I
The
guess.
Watchmaster is going with them.
You could also
or at
go
least he's
take
exiting the
a
tent with them. It
shit
looks like there are
in
5
the
Crown's Guard.
porta potty if
3
you
of them
want.
that are shackled.
I'll go out the front exit of the tent just to see if the Watchmaster goes with Molly.
Okay.
I'll follow 4.
Okay, so the 2 of you are following anybody with them? Currently, it's you 2 and Frumpkin.
Are we going with them or not?
Come
Should we
on.
stay here?
Yeah, is it?
This is not our affair,
I
right?
don't know. I am having second thoughts about being here at all.
Yeah, I would leave.
It's pity.
Like, go to this. Like, eventually get to the stockades, talk to this person.
Why don't we just?
Follow behind a bit?
That's right.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah, like kind of keep an eye on people, but don't be front and center. Kind of avoid
All right,
any
so
attention,
as you guys
especially since
kind of
you're
keep
a
a pace
freaking
behind,
goblin
watching
that
the
causes
Crown's Guard
chaos.
guarding
And there's a friggin' Frumpkin around. I mean, it's a cat.
towards the actual
No one
city.
will care.
Frumpkin keeping kind of a zigzagging distance behind and following.
Meow.
DM,
Yes.
is it possible for me, if Not is holding my hand and leading me, to go full third eye and walk blind and deaf here, looking through Frumpkins?
Is that a
I
thing?
would say yes, but you are purely like this
Trusting him.
walking forward, and you need someone to guide you.
Right.
Yeah, so you're
I can-
basically blind and
I
trusting
can talk,
Not.
but I can't hear you. I can talk and I can hold her hand so she can stop me from platforming.
Yes. But you can talk?
Sure.
He can talk, but he can't
But I
hear
can't.
you.
I can't
Got
hear.
it.
Fucking Brandon.
Okay.
He could talk, but he can't
I've done this
hear
before,
you.
So you know
Yes.
to squeeze my hand really
I dig this
hard
power.
so I
You
can
could see
tighten
through
up.
the eyes of Frumpkin.
All right. So first off, Beauregard,
Yeah.
as you back out of the performer's exit of the tent into the center of their encampment, the immediate exit, there are already 4 Crown's Guard that are currently searching around.
Crown's Guard. I keep calling it the
Kind
King's
of setting up a
Guard.
watch perimeter around the
King's
different
Guard.
tents. They're gathering and making sure that none of the other performers have fled.
It
And
cracks me up how low their
out
stats are
into
compared to what I've
an
seen
area with a
in
number of tents all facing
other
towards a
videos of
large
other
campfire.
campaigns.
There's a couple of chairs set up there. It's kind of the common area for the performers at the carnival. And it looks like they're all just kind of being put out there so they can get a beat on it and make sure they know where everyone else is.
I'm gonna try and like be aloof, kind of stealth a little bit. I don't want to make myself completely known.
Are you trying to like stealth out of sight or just trying to not draw attention?
No, just trying not to draw attention.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make a stealth check just to see if
By the way, did we
The gauge.
just all ditch?
See, even like there he goes again. Am I wrong? Maybe he's like got a good poker face because that's the second time in the last like 10 minutes he's done like if you want.
17. Okay.
I mean, at some
As
point he
you
might be told,
kind
"Yo,
of
you're
dart
giving it
through the
away."
flap of the tent and move.
And this is
behind
campaign
one of the
2.
large carts that currently is still affixed to a horse that is currently just chewing on an apple, and you hear the crunch in its teeth. You glance over past the edge of the immediate near tent, and you can see this group gathering there, and it appears that no one's immediately aware of your presence.
Do I see the little girl whose name was, what was her name?
Yeah, what was her
Toya?
name? Toya?
You do not see her yet.
Oh boy.
Like the guard just got out there, and they're just
Toya.
beginning to pull people out. You do see the fire dancer brought out there. You then see
Orna?
the 2
Fire dancer.
the Knot sisters are brought out and kind of pushed out there, and you see they're all kind of
Are people
looking
being
frustrated.
amicable?
yeah. They're not like shoving them around, but they're just calling them out to the front so they know where they are.
Okay, I want to like look around. Do I see any type of like movement in the shadows? Anyone looking suspicious?
Make a perception check.
Oh yeah, natural 18, 21.
We don't need to know. Do we need to
Okay,
know?
as you glance
I don't want to
about,
say
you
anything.
don't
I don't
see
even know.
anything
But I don't think you need to tell.
lurking in the
Do you need to tell if it's a
shadows. What you
natural
do,
18 or 19? Because I hear them do that
notice,
often.
Though, is one of them bring Toya out of one of the tent that's on the southern side, and as he brings her out, there's a heavy thud sound, and you see coming up from behind the tent the large form of you heard the name Kauri once, but the devil toad,
frog.
the
Oh,
obese
the
lizard man
big
who's
devil toad.
stomping up behind.
Is he like a
Kauri.
dude or is he like a creature?
It's a creature.
It looks like a lizard man, so like scaled humanoid.
maybe I was wrong.
But extremely like thick, kind of bulbous belly, large, almost frog-like.
I was
legs.
picturing like a giant monster
Bipedal
creature.
on all
But
fours.
It's a human with a protruding belly.
Due to the size of his form, mostly all fours and kind of lumbering forward on all of them, but
Oh, so he's
sits
very
back on kind of a
creature-esque, but
bipedal situation.
humanoid.
So
Okay, so like borderline creature.
The toad is kind of hiding behind the tent, and as soon as Toya comes out, comes up to the guard and kind of puffs up its chest, and the guard spins around and kind of goes for the blade and kind of pulls it out just carefully.
Am I still next to that horse? Am I
I
still
will
next to the
die
horse?
if we could like
horse
use
is- the horse
this
is
creature
currently
as like an
still,
asset, like an ally.
Up on the cart, but is about maybe 3 feet from you.
Thinking.
I was almost about to say, could Keyleth tame it or something? B shape. What is that?
I'm gonna take my staff and just give a really nice whack to the horse to get it to run.
Oh, great! Scare the
know
lizard man.
Let's go ahead and make an animal handling check on that.
Never get to make those.
I know.
Animal
So
handling.
you last
I've never that. I don't think I've ever heard. animal handling roll?
Handling survival.
Oh my god. I'm so
Sam
nervous
even
right
said
now.
we don't ever do those.
That's not great. 11.
11's fine. 11 will do it. It wasn't a
Okay.
hard DC, but it was more knowing where to hit it to where it would cause it to bolt versus just get angry.
Get pissed. Sure, kick me.
So, going for not to actually like hurt the creature, but just
No,
enough to
just a
spook it.
little whip.
You hit it a right place towards the back of its hindquarters to cause it to suddenly rear up and go into a sprint.
I mean, that makes sense.
Because
That you
this,
wouldn't
like,
need a high
bounce and
roll
smash
to
onto the ground. You
hit
can
a
see the
horse in
wheels
the
kind of
ass.
clattering into the rocks and the stone
I'm
between
gonna
the bits
bolt
of.
in the opposite direction and try and loop around to the south side of the
Make a
town.
stealth check, please.
I'm digging this. See, I feel like we're getting more rolls as we progress.
The 19.
19. She's getting great rolls.
You dart around the north side of these tents.
I feel like
and you're
anything
pretty sure you
over
won't
a
see them as
15
far as
is
you
pretty
know.
solid
But as the
for
cart
in
begins
general.
to bolt off behind this horse, you see all the crowd's guard turn. The one that was currently staring at the devil toad kind of glances off to the side. As he glances off, the devil toad kind of takes Toya and just pulls her to him protectively. And the guard kind of puts his sword away and
I want these to be our friends
Check.
or help us
points at them and then
or
bolts off,
maybe not
to
join
go
us,
after
but
the horse
be
as they stay
assets.
kind of watching over the group.
Okay, can I loop around and kind of come up behind them?
I mean, they're scattered a bit, but there's.
The devil toad and Toya.
Oh yeah. Make another stealth check. You're running through open areas each time you do this.
Yep.
Why is she allowed to keep doing that? I feel like she's rolling a lot consistently.
Wow, I watched that happen.
10.
That's a bastard die right there. That's the tease.
A bastard die. She just rolled an 18 and a 19. You gotta get bad rolls once in a while.
As
I
you
think she's
come
been
up
pretty fortunate.
around the back of the devil toad, the guard that runs past doesn't immediately notice you because he's focused on where this cart is running off, and you can see another guard that was far away from this encampment that's circling back with him. The two of them are now bolting in the direction as the cart begins to slow. It's not just going for it forever, but it's spooked and it's starting to slow down. They're just going to inspect it. However, as you kind of slink up behind, the devil toad's head kind of like curls back towards you, and you hear this.
I mean,
deep
it is
guttural-
called the devil toad, but
It's okay. Toya,
I don't want it to be evil. I want it to be our friend.
Come on, let's get out of here. Let's go.
At which point a voice says, excuse me?
Is that the toad? Please tell me it's the toad.
And you can see like the three guards are there just staring at you.
Fuck, you didn't say there were fucking guards.
I did say there were three guards that did
Right there.
There are three guards watching them.
I thought that you said they left.
Well, one of them left.
One of them left.
Yep.
So wait.
That's bad stealth check. I'm sorry, but there's now three.
How
crown
is she
guards
still
there, and they're like,
stealth checking?
Can I help you?
This is the third or fourth stealth check on top of the animal handling. How is she able to do so many things? I feel like she's just taking a lot of turns, but I'm cool with it. I'm just confused.
Looking for the loo?
Looking for the loo.
The
The
guard
bathroom?
closest to you kind of glances at the other guys and goes, "So she was with the group, right?" They recognize you, and they kind of look at each other.
Oh, she's
You're going to the
Jesus.
stockade.
Oh my God! Even with all the
Slowly
stealth
approach,
moves and everything, she gets
they-
caught.
They begin to take out chains. And
So it
manacles
goes
you
to
up.
show you can't just be silly about what you do. You will get nabbed.
I'm trying to get the girl. Trying to free the damn girl.
But now it leads me to believe the girl is important. Because if Matt went through all that to protect the girl and the lizard
You're
man,
shackled and
they gotta
being
have
dragged
some
towards the
major
stockade.
importance. And I feel like
Are
it's
the guy- are
positive.
The two guards, like
for
it's
us.
just the two guards,
It's the
right?
two guards now. As you're being brought back, you can see more guards are coming from the city to the carnival. Like they're keeping it under surveillance.
So are they taking me away?
They're taking you
while-
to the city, yeah.
What are they doing with Toya? Anything? Are they leaving them behind?
They're leaving them behind currently with the guards that are there. Like
Yeah.
they're not arresting.
They're being
anybody from
watched.
the carnival, but they're not letting them leave.
Yeah, they're being like
They're
detained.
keeping them there.
That's the definition of detained.
Okay.
Keeping them there.
I'm gonna just do a quick.
Kill them all.
Kill them all.
I'm in shackles.
I mean, you could fight them right now, right? But you don't
more
want to
shit
do
here.
that.
I'm
We're
gonna
like,
elbow
no one's
one of the guards.
charging anyone.
Right in the ribs.
She actually
and
did
take
it.
the other one and bash the other one in the face, and then I'm gonna turn to Toya and I'm gonna say,
Look at all them. They're like, what are you doing?
"Run!"
Okay.
That is
Go ahead.
insane. No one charged you with anything.
First,
You're
go ahead
like,
and make an athletics check.
Go to the stockades. Let your friends come help you out. You just created chaos. Yeah, this is a terrible idea. You're creating utter chaos.
I'm so excited.
Trying to distract them. It's already been
So excited.
assumed that you're caught and things are not going your way.
As you
How is she still able to do
you
things?
get halfway there before your chains go taut, and they're both kind of holding the chain at each side, and you can see the tension of it. You can't even get him from behind. So you're like, before you're halfway, you imagine it in your head. You go over it 2 or 3 times.
I just
As you
can't
go
believe
through
she's
the
still
first
able to
step,
do actions like this. Like,
Doesn't go
she's just
anywhere.
making things worse as she goes.
Holmes pre-fight.
Do I at least get to run out to Toya?
No. I'm sorry.
Is she just standing there, like, waiting for
Yeah,
him
what
to
is
go
Toya
guard?
doing? At least tell us that.
She seems to be having a seizure in the chains.
Amazing. Yeah, but like, I want a visual of Toya. Like, we deserve something after all this. I want to just.
Honestly, like, the Devil Toad and her, like, seem pretty close. Like, he's grabbing her in a protective manner.
I
No,
think
they
there are.
both run.
Right.
Run for your life. Fine, whatever.
I think Marisha was on the right path, but then went way too far. And then after getting caught, she should have already known I went way too far, and then she went a step beyond that.
Ahead of her.
Damn it. That was. Even everyone there was like, this is a horrible idea. Like, whoa.
Bo the Breaker, Bosun, as you know by his full name, is kind of grumbling under his
I dig
breath,
Bo the Breaker.
just kind of trying to out loud piece together thoughts on what may have transpired, saying things like, I don't know, I have to. You think it's done on the inside, or is this somebody trying to sabotage it?
I don't know. I think maybe it has nothing to do with us. I think maybe we were just caught in the crossfire.
That's what I think. I think it's just a total bad luck. They happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong
At
time.
which point, one of the guards kind of tugs a little bit and
Or maybe they're after
Why
the girl
now?
in the Toad Man or
For
whatever.
the
But I
Lawmaster.
think it's just wrong place,
they
wrong
bring
time.
you in towards the.
I mean, but why
you go
would
in
that
through
be
the
I feel like that's
Locksword
too.
into the Hillsward, which is the southern portion of Trostenwald, and you are brought to the outside of the stockade, which is a large.
I feel like for it to be
single
just
story,
random
though
wouldn't
tall,
make sense in a story.
Rectangular building of large stones and masonry. It's built for function. It's not a very beautiful building, but it's defensible, and it seems fairly well made. However, there are the banners of the Crown's Guard marking the double door entrance, and as you brought within, you can already see there's 2 central chairs where 2 current watch sit just watching the front gates, or the front door. Beyond to the right, you see is an office that you guys are dragged to, and the rest of you eventually catch up to the group.
That
and you're all
office you're
brought
dragged
inside this
to.
kind of darkened office. Inside, relatively simple. This isn't, a library type study office. This is very much for function. There's a couple of small crates that contain materials that are kind of in too far in shadow to see the details of it. Look to be pieces of paper, probably gathered evidence, or weapons that have been reclaimed. There is a stone desk on the far end, and there you can see within this office.
Sam has
already
still been very
accompanied by a
quiet,
messenger
and now
dressed for immediate
Laura
travel.
is.
It's a
I miss her
tough-looking
voice.
Dwarven woman in her middle years, rapidly scrawling on parchment. You can see her black hair is streaked with
Dwarven
silver,
woman.
kind of tumbling
Does
past
she
her
know
red and gray leather
Toya?
armor. She finishes writing on this parchment, rolls it up, and hands it to the messenger, who immediately darts out of the room without a word, past you guys, kind of giving you a brief look as he continues on whatever his business is. As soon as your eyes kind of.
I'm wondering, guys. I mean, I said this in Vox Machina. Is it wrong for me to assume barbarians would know all barbarians? But I mean, it would probably be.
Have you brought in to me this day? At which point, the Watchmaster kind of takes the chains of the 3 of you and kind of pulls you towards the front of the group and says, I'm sorry to be a bother, but we have 3 individuals arrested in connection with the, as you've heard so far, deaths at the carnival performance this evening. She kind of rolls her eyes. All right, bring them forward. They go ahead and pull the chains up. The Watchmaster and bows his head and then leaves the room and leaves it.
And then leaves
She
it.
steps forward and goes, I am Norda, and it's my job to keep this city safe and to keep shite like what happened tonight from happening. I approved your second time on the outskirts of our town, and you've killed 2 of my people. So, what have you to say about yourselves?
Exactly how did we kill them exactly?
Yeah. Whoa. Like, how did things escalate?
She glances over at you, glances over at
We
Gustav.
just became murderers? I thought we were being questioned.
I've been told by my guard that you give a performance. And as part of this performance, you released 2 beasts into the midst of the population.
What has become?
Well, technically,
Yeah,
it
like-
wasn't part of the performance. Technically, he was saving everyone. Technically.
Yeah, like how all of a sudden are we murderers? Like we were being...
Thank you. Yes. Well,
What?
you see,
Like
we
we're-
actually had nothing to do.
Gustav interrupts you and says, I'm so sorry, my liege. Please, I take full responsibility for what happened this evening on myself. These people around me had nothing to do with this. They are not part of the carnival.
Very
They were merely
awesome of
helping.
Gustav.
It is my carnival, and whatever judgment there lies, I take upon myself. And
Damn, man.
At which point, Bo, the half-orc, steps forward, kind of against
Gustav's a solid dude.
doing. He's like, shut up. Please, whatever judgment there is, put it upon me. And he bows his head low.
Huh?
Is that the case? Is he the only one?
I almost feel bad letting him take the rap because he's not guilty either, even though he's the guy that... I mean, usually the captain or the boss takes the blame, but I almost feel bad.
Me to speak. Yes, he's the only one.
Make persuasion check.
Natural 20.
I almost feel bad.
Shit.
Yeah, but like to me, this isn't even a win because you're selling
Looks
out
over
or
at Brother Baker.
abandoning.
Shakes her head.
Abandon my child.
Keep these 2 downstairs. This one let go. He seems to be free. We'll be talking to you very soon. At which point the Crown's guard drag the chains back and Gustav gives you a quick look under his eye and goes, as they're pulled out of the room, out of sight.
I mean, Gustav wanted it to go down like that, but
Well, you
damn,
have
man,
changed.
what is?
That's great.
I almost feel like he's up to
Doesn't mean
something, or
you're
he's a
absolved,
solid dude.
So, where are you staying? You and your compatriots.
Oh, well, technically, we just all met, technically.
Technically, we all just met technically.
As far as I'm concerned, you're all together as part of this investigation.
We're a group, you guys.
I'm happy. Laura brightens my day. Her voice. I didn't hear it. That's like the second time she spoke, I feel like.
Which, and she looks at some papers here. Looks to be the nestled nook.
I just noticed his class is a blood hunter. I don't know if I
City.
noticed that.
We'll be in touch.
That's scary
I
sounding.
really like it here, so that's good that we get to stay so long.
Do you have something to say?
No. Just shocked to have seen someone die in front of me, not more than just a month ago.
I can assure you, we're here to cause no trouble. We will be as compliant.
Look
as
at
we possibly
look at
can.
Molly or Talzin.
Good.
Like, yeah, I'm sure that's the first time you've seen someone
Dismissed.
die
She slaps the edge of the table.
after laughing about it too.
The remaining
You look very horrified and tormented.
watch escorts you out of the stockade, escorts you onto the street.
Her accent is really, really strong. It's hard to not match her accent.
Right. So one accent I really have trouble with.
Yeah.
Would you call it infectious?
Sorry.
The one that we know is a problem.
I'm going to call my.
I don't know if that's
back to me,
exactly
and
what I
drop,
think it is, or if there's like an inside
the
joke
telepathy,
there.
And I just start tugging you back to the nestled nook. Come on, we have to talk about this. We have to decide what we're going to do.
Right.
Excuse me.
Man, this shit flies by. We're already like 30 minutes in. I feel like it just flies.
Yeah. Well, you've
I'll
had to
probably
take
do
that
like
up.
10 more minutes, or
Maintain
I'll
that.
see where there's a good
We would
stop.
have walked up to the building. The
Right.
cat would have scurried around if
Yeah.
possible.
So.
So I'd like to think that I heard all that, which is why I just.
You
said
did hear all
the
that,
things I
yeah.
did,
Okay, and I'd say as they're making their way out, yeah, you could probably duck around without them seeing you as they.
Fast walk back. To
Yeah,
the
you can do
hotel.
that. Okay. So you guys are jettisoned into the street. It's now probably just past midnight.
Molly Mark, I don't mean to pry into your business, but has this ever happened to you before?
This has never, anything like this has ever happened before. And thank you. For the record, I don't owe you, any of you anything.
Oh, I don't know about
I
that.
swear, but thank you. And I'm ready to help with this.
Do you think it was the little girl?
I don't know if
No,
that's how you
no,
gotta
that's-
play it,
That's an act. That's not.
but I feel like
It's not
that was
anything.
kind of
It's just a
rude.
show.
The rudest thank you I've ever heard. I don't owe you anything, but thank you.
What's the story there?
It's nothing special. It's just a guy making a buck. All right. He's fine. He's
At this
fine.
point, you hear the footfalls of guards approach and a rattle of chains as you see
By the way, where's the
Beauregard.
obnoxious one? That really loud. That.
As opposed to the rest of you who are like gingerly brought up, you see Beauregard being pulled forward, but now the chains around her are being pulled taut on two sides. She's being brought forward like a wild animal almost. And she's just being led towards the stockade.
Is she still drunk? He never acknowledged it. I'm assuming at this point she's sober.
I'm with you. I'm with you now. Help.
Oh, I thought you didn't like jails.
Yeah, good job. The one that says she doesn't like jails goes to
By the way, I
jail.
was
Or
just
the
curious.
stockades.
Unfortunately,
It's like a jail.
Which is the last thing you see as she's
Flipping her
yanked
off.
into the stockade and out of sight.
I wouldn't be very helpful and not go in there with the two of you while you try and get her out.
So should we go in and try to get her
well,
out?
yeah.
Okay.
I'll stand guard.
Okay.
Don't.
We'll follow her in.
Leave.
I have nowhere to go.
All right, you guys walk in behind her. You watch her being pulled.
I don't know. Right
to
now,
the
I'm
stairs.
literally
She's not- she's
disliking
being
Molly
bypassing
more
the
and more
office of the
because I feel
ViewMasters
like
now.
the way
She's being
Talzin's
brought
playing it is kind of
seeming
rude and
incarceration
obnoxious.
before being questioned.
Even though I
They bring her
grow,
to the stairs and
I
there's the
understand he doesn't
torchlit
know any of
subterranean
them,
basement
so I don't
area.
know. I'm still on the fence.
And as you begin to approach and follow behind, you can see one of the guards who's currently on watch, who sees you guys just exit and then walk back in and follow another prisoner, kind of stands up and goes, "I'm sorry, where are you going?"
It was a busy day for us. Unfortunately, we're partially responsible for this one as well.
At least he's honest. Hey, he's honest. That's the way you got to play it. Why
Save a lot
make
of
craziness?
people. Big misunderstanding.
I mean, this looks bad for them now,
So
though,
you're in
because
the cell, please.
Marisha was running around like a
Good
crazy
vicinity.
person
Fair enough.
and then punched a guard.
Appreciate that. And he kind of like follows behind you guys. You know, they're kind of on high alert. And
She
they get scattered. You get the
struck
sense right
a
now that
guard
They have a lot of their
After getting
initial
caught trying to break
stock
in.
of guards are
That's
off
a rough
site right
one.
now, and so they're doing the best they can to hold on to what they currently have in the stockade.
To the side, I say, to gesture, I say, this does not really fall in with keeping a low profile. We talked about
No, isn't it so weird?
this. Yeah.
I love the way she like has a straight face. You know she's
You guys
gonna laugh
follow,
any second.
down
She's
to
keeping
the
a straight face.
basement portion of this.
We're supposed to keep a low profile. This
There's a
is
heavy locked
isn't
door
it so weird?
immediately that is opened from the opposite side. You hear a couple of keys turn and the shifting of wood against metal before the door opens and reveals the rest of what appears to be a long hallway that is flanked by 2 rows of cells, iron bars about maybe 2 inches apart, going across the entirety of this long hallway. You can't quite see the end of it until you step down to where the door frame is, and there's probably a total of 10 cells to each side. As you kind of walk through, you can see in kind of the off shadows in the corners a few kind of huddled bodies, hunched or asleep, kind of keeping to the shadows and out of the
I
light.
love how everyone
The
gets
smell
quiet
of,
when he explains, even
mildewed,
including myself.
Wet compost and piss hits your nose like a wall.
Smells like Caleb down here.
Oh my god, how mean.
You get
Caleb
about
even
5
laughed.
cells
Liam even
in
laughed, I
where
guess.
You can see the people that were previously in there,
Assume.
or the guard that were previously in there, just finished closing off the cell that contains both Gustav and Bo the Breaker. And they move to the cell just beyond that, open that cell, and then go ahead and put...
All right, so she's in her own
Beauregard
cell.
into that
Is
one.
anyone with her?
Take her to see the lawmaker.
I know why doesn't she get to talk to the lawmaster?
Norda?
Closes it and locks it.
Norda.
Because she decided not to come helpfully.
Yeah, she punched a guard. She struck an officer,
no, You
basically.
misunderstood. See, that was just I have this like spasm that kind of has this like kind of twitch. You know, it's
Perception
it was
roll.
an injury from like a childhood thing.
Oh no, are you guys making fun of her because of her spasm?
Yeah, it's actually it's
Now we're
it's
selling
very
the spasm. I love
for me.
it.
I
Hey,
really-
go with it now.
The,
tough childhood.
the three,
And I was just trying to find a bathroom.
the 3 guard walk away, not caring.
That's how it should go. But I thought he was going to be like, roll for...
Previously, and,
What would he roll there? Perception? Because you
at this
could
point,
persuade
a
them?
man who's in the far end of the hall walks up, and you can see him. He's a
But clearly that's
a man with
ridiculous.
like a kind of heavy,
That would be
bushy
like-
beard that obscures a lot of what looks.
I
to be
mean,
a
there's
dark
some
leather
things you just
mantle,
can't do.
over general cloth tunic, but he's like burly arms, heavy torso, super scrawny legs.
Doesn't do
kind of a
leg day.
widow's peak,
Skips leg day.
and he looks to be the jailer. And he kind of walks up and puts his hand on the bars and goes,
Oh, well, if you want to be patient, I'm sure the lawmaster will be here sometime in the morning, and you can discuss whatever this business is. But if you want to say goodbye, now's the time.
Actually, we were just upstairs, and it would really help us if we could perhaps expedite the process.
Pay him
perhaps there's
off,
an
let
arrangement
her
we could
go.
come to if she could see the lawmaster now.
Yeah, I'm like a kind of injured man. Like, no, like, seriously, I could show him my
8 hit points.
hit points of damage.
I like that. Hey, hey, that makes sense to me.
16 kittens.
Yeah.
That's 16
Kittens have more stats.
That's 8 from
kittens have half a hit point.
An audience is all we're asking for. No favors.
Yeah, this is just a wrong time, wrong place thing.
Make persuasion check.
We're gonna try to persuade the guy to let us out.
God bless. 16.
16. He kind of gives you a look.
All right, but if she gets angry, it's not on me.
I understand. Thank you
She's
for
a
your
very calm
understanding.
person. She very rarely. I've never seen.
All right,
her
cool.
angry.
So we get in front of Norda again. I don't know how it's gonna
Another house guard
go.
comes up and approaches him and he goes like,
I'm sorry, could you go and fetch the lawmaster? They are requesting an audience.
I thought that they were gonna have to like pay him off or something.
The guard exits, and a brief time by, you can hear the slight muddled cursing of a
Norda.
dwarven female descending the stairs.
She's
You can see
pissed
she
'cause
has
now
her
she's gotta
overcoat on with,
see
like,
someone she didn't
halfway
wanna
out of the
see.
Stockades, finishing up her evening in her office.
Bo, remember your little sister.
We're not there.
Bo, remember
So
your little
as the lawmaster
sister.
approaches now, kind of pulling the coat over herself, because
Okay, so you've returned.
Is she gonna say the dwarven girl's her little
Into what
sister or
business
something?
now before I go off and get some food?
I do hate to trouble you again twice in the same evening. It's
I think she's
incredibly
gonna
inconvenient.
twice in the
say the
same
dwarven
evening.
girl's her
If we may,
sister.
this sweet girl here was also part of our party, and she is quite the protective one. I'm afraid that she was also providing aid to our fellows in that tent. I'm afraid her younger sister was attacked in a similar way. I feel
Comparison.
it's only prudent to acknowledge that she was trying to protect this young dwarven girl that performed in the circus. She means no harm.
It was an adopted sister.
No.
Practically raised her to some.
Oh wait, are they saying that? It sounded like Travis was saying
like
it
it's
reminded her of her sister. But I was thinking what they just said. It's her adoptive daughter. Because I thought the same thing. Bo's not a dwarf. That's good, man.
18.
I was thinking the same thing. It can't be her
Modified
sister because Bo's not a dwarf. But I don't know if that's originally what Travis was saying. They kind of spun it.
she gives kind of a narrow look through her eyes, looks to one of the other guards that you see standing in the back, familiar one to you, Bo, and goes, "Is this true?" He goes, it appeared to us that she was attempting to escape upon us trying to bring calm to a very tense situation, but I leave it in your realm, Lawmaster. She looks back.
So your sister, apparently, is part of this now as well.
Adopted sister.
Watch they arrest the dwarven girl now.
Okay.
Go arrest
Well,
her,
your
Tim.
sister's under investigation.
Sure.
She's staying at the same place that we are.
Indeed. And we can be found at any hour. The Nestled Nook Inn is where we are.
And I'm more than willing to be compliant with the investigation. In fact, you can see the injury the beast left on my ribs.
She's
And
really
if you
selling
wanna
the
test it,
injury.
You know, for any type of specimen samples, feel free. It's very painful, but I'm willing to
want
do it for the cause.
Do you need me to heal that?
No, for the cause.
She's like, don't heal me.
Which she looks to you now and goes,
Are you saying you might have been infected by this beast?
No. No, it's a separate issue. There was like there was two things going on. There was like the big angry toad beast, and he got a swipe at me. And then there were people who were getting
"Thieves?"
attacked.
And she looks over to the jailer. He goes, hey?
Could you have a doctor look at
Could you have
her?
a look at this wound for me real
Yeah.
fast? I want to make sure this isn't something that's going to spread.
A great idea indeed. And thankfully there was no flesh-to-flesh contact.
Nope.
Look at Travis.
The beast especially was using a lot of like sticks and stuff to attack people more than any kind of mouth.
I mean, I'm assuming there's no infection, so they should be fine.
The jailer.
But it's possible she's got some shit on her or
Takes
something.
a quick look at the wounding, goes, no, it appears to mainly be just bludgeoning.
Yeah. That's what I assumed, but you never
keep a
know.
close eye on her. You can see now
I love how
rubbing
even
her
silly
eye
things they try to
frustration.
do, Matt spins on them, because that's how it should be.
Indeed. Give us no greater pleasure than to get out of your hair.
Then, we'll have guards posted at the outside of the inn. You're not to leave until this investigation is complete. It may take days, but until we find out who's responsible for these deaths and bring him to justice, you are not to leave the tavern.
Hey, that's fair
Like,
enough.
At all during the day. even?
Understood.
Just a question. If we want to shop or something, not okay?
Not until this is done.
Look at Travis. Are you crazy? We're under investigation. We're letting a criminal basically come with us, and you're like, but can we shop in the daytime?
Indeed we would. This is most gracious of you, Lawmaster
Yeah.
Norda.
Even if you're gonna leave to shop, cut it, Jester. Jesus. I feel like she's doing it because that's her character. But damn.
Out of the chamber.
Look at her laughing. Look, they're all like, look, Travis is giving her shit.
Cell door and allows Beauregard back out, and he looks a bit confused but amused at the same time. And you guys, the guards that had originally arrested you, escort you out, not leaving any element of their sight off of you. They escort you guys.
Yeah, no one trusts anybody
the
now
actual
because
inn
of
itself,
Bo.
to the bottom floor of the Nestled Nook Inn. Watch you enter, and then post up right outside of the main entrance to the tavern.
Boom. Perfect time to stop. All right, guys, that was part 1. We're at about the 45-minute mark at this point. I feel like if I do an hour straight, then I'll have another 45 minutes left, and that'll leave around 2 hours left for the live stream on Friday. So that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump into the next hour. That hour will be on Patreon only because, like I said, I don't want to have every second of every episode on YouTube. We're chopping it up, we're editing up, we're doing things to like break up the monotony and to have different ways to view things. If you watch it on Patreon, it's also unedited in the sense of the intro and the exit. When I do the intro and exit, I really narrow them down. Sometimes I talk for like 10 or 15 minutes, and I don't want to just have that much talking on YouTube. So I even edit those down. So you guys basically see everything completely unedited. When I make mistakes or bloopers or whatever, it's all in there. So you guys want to see that? You're welcome to it. I'm putting the ends of the episodes on the live stream so no one misses it. You could watch it live on live stream, or you could watch it later because I post them later. And I put the first part of the episodes because at least I want you to know where it's going and how it ends. And then the middle part, I feel like, is the part you could miss. By the time you guys see this drop, the Patreon hour will probably come out the following day because I put this out as soon as I can on YouTube. I edit it up and then I throw it up, and then I watch the next part. So being as it's already like late at night, you probably won't see this till the afternoon of the next day, which is Wednesday. And then Friday, we'll do the live stream. And I guess Thursday, I'm going to have to get part 2 out. I was trying to get out part 1 on the weekend, but then I did some movies and I started Arcane, so I ran out of time. Recap. We leave the carnival. Basically, the most important things here are Molly is going down in my ranks. I don't know, something about the way Tal'dorei is playing the character, whether it's intentional or not, because he doesn't really know them. I understand, but it's still not making me like his character. It's like, even if he's right and he shouldn't trust strangers, I feel like he shouldn't be as rude as he is. For instance, even if you don't want anything in return, you don't have to tell the people in a rude way. And that might be his character, and he's just being his character. Like, Jester doesn't shut up and says weird things when she shouldn't. But that's different. That's almost like for comic relief, and I'm okay with it just because I love Jester. Molly, though, is like in my top 3, or was. I feel like telling people, hey, by the way, thanks for helping me, but I don't owe you anything. It's like, why even say that? Some things just need not be said. The typical, if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. So all he had to do was go, hey guys, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. If they go, well, you owe us big time, then I'd say, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't really owe you guys. I'm just thanking you. Like even then you might even want to go the next step and go, yeah, you're right. I really do owe you. Even if you don't feel you did and you're never going to pay them back, why burn bridges? If anything, he seems like a shyster. He should blow smoke and lie just to get them in his good graces and build friendships. So he has somebody in his corner. Because right now, Yasha vanished. Ashley Johnson's not there. And he's kind of a loner. So you probably should just play the game. It's almost like, even if that's his character and he's rude, he's also a shyster. He does sleight of hand. He's in a traveling carnival. And now he's by himself. I feel like that was a dumb move to like, even though it's probably not going to affect anything, and I'm probably thinking way too much into it, because all of them know Talzin personally, and they're not going to be like, oh, well, you were rude about that, so go screw yourself. I feel like it's just going to be brushed off, and it's not even going to be a thing. But in my mind, it greatly affected me, in the sense that now Molly is out of my top 3. Sam barely did anything, if anything, in that 45 minutes, but I still just love Sam. The Scanlan factor comes into effect. So by default, I still have not the hero in my top 3. I gotta say though, Jester still might be my favorite. The most we've heard from in this part was Bo. I feel like Bo did some ridiculous insanity. She did one bad thing after another. And at some point you just gotta cut it. You just gotta be like, all right, I shouldn't have done this. Let's just end it here. Everybody was saying, what are you doing? This is a horrible move. You are striking one of the Crown's guard. Now you get arrested. They're dragging you around with chains pulling you each way like an animal, Matt said. What kind of silliness are you trying to do? You should have just ended it at that. You didn't get by the guards with the stealth move. At that point, she should have just been like, I'm drunk. I'm sorry. Take a look at the lizard man. It would have been better off to just pretend you're drunk and be in a stupor instead of striking a Crown's guard after several people died from some crazy event that is unexplainable at this point. That would be like if 2 people were murdered down the street and I'm like, well, I want to get a better look, so I'm going to go break into the scene of the crime and take a look. Of course they're going to think you're involved. When you return to the scene of the crime or you're in the vicinity, people are going to think you have something to do with it when you're committing more crime. So that was insanely foolish. And I feel like Marisha thought, well, I'll just get some good rolls and maybe I'll get lucky. I feel like some of them get cocky, like the players. I feel like some of them get cocky in their own heads, like, I could pretty much do whatever I want as long as my rolls are good. And I said how some things should be unattainable. Like at some point I thought Matt was going to say roll for perception to see if you could let the guards let you go. At some point, even a natural 20 can't get you out of some things in life. And this is like a reality type game. So I feel like that's why Matt was like, no, the 3 guards walk away. You can't do nothing. It's like if I shot somebody and then I go, I'm going to roll and pretend I never did it. And then I get a natural 20. I'm like, I got away with murder. You shouldn't be able to do things like that. There's got to be limits. And I'm assuming Matt controls it. This is campaign 2. I'm thinking in my head, like, well, they just started, but this is just starting a different campaign. So after 400 to 500 hours of Vox Machina campaign 1, I'm assuming we've dealt with everything that could be dealt with. I dig that we saw handling animals. Sam even said that's something rarely used. I'm starting to pick up things. I'm starting to realize what's going on. If I had to rank them right now, I say Jester's number 1. I'm going to put Ford as my number 2 right now, because Ford did a lot of talking here. I dig how Travis is thinking logically and trying to get people out of situations that he shouldn't even be involved in, like in the instance of Bo specifically. So not the hero is going to be my 3rd. To be honest with you, Caleb, I just don't know enough about. I dig that he's got Frumpkin. I love Frumpkin, but that was an awesome thing actually in the beginning. We saw that he could see through the eyes of Frumpkin and be led around by not the hero, but we haven't got back to that yet. So now we got to stay in the tavern. We can't go anywhere. I'm jumping into the next hour. You guys want to be way ahead, full unedited episodes of all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, and hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.